Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I am doing something I don't know if I've ever done before. I'm going to be doing a story time video. Kind of just sitting here and telling y'all about my craziest fan encounter story that I have that happened to me recently. So I thought I would share this because in one of my previous videos, I asked if you wanted to hear the story and overwhelmingly, y'all said yes. So today, I am going to tell that story. Before I begin the story, I want to preface it with an issue that I face on the internet. So if you didn't know, I have a collective following on the internet of more than 5 million. On Instagram, I have like 760,000 followers, and on Facebook, I have 3.5 million. And unfortunately, something that comes along with having these large platforms is you have people that impersonate you, who steal your identity, and in turn, use your identity to scam people out of money. And it is something incredibly prevalent on Instagram, on Facebook, on every social media platform out there. There is scammers stealing people's identity and trying to scam unsuspecting people out of money. And that is kind of what goes along with what happened with this story I'm about to tell. But it's a problem that these social media platforms just don't do anything about. Like if I were to just get on my phone right now, search my name on Instagram, I can just about guarantee that there's gonna be accounts impersonating me. It's something I've reported probably thousands of profiles at this point, but at the end of the day, a lot of the times they don't ever use my name and my identity. They use these random off-the-wall names, and I'm never able to find the profile. So I just searched my name here on Instagram. So these first couple of profiles are me, but then you search down and you keep scrolling, and all of these profiles with me in the photos are all scammer accounts. And there's quite a few of them. Look, there's more. There's even more. But it just goes on and on and on. If you were to search my name on Facebook, you would find dozens, if not hundreds, of fake profiles using my photos. It's unfortunate that I have to deal with this, but it kind of comes with having an online presence. But since I'm not a celebrity or a household name, I feel like people are more easily scammed into thinking that they are actually speaking to me in these instances. And it sucks. And it's something I wish these social media platforms would do something about, but they don't care. And that was kind of a long-winded intro to this video, but let's get on with the craziest interaction I have ever had, ever. Okay, so this story takes place here at the beginning of June 2021, a couple of weeks ago, when I was visiting Ludington, Michigan with my sponsor Renegade Products, and we were doing some fishing on the Great Lakes. When I was in Ludington, Michigan, I did make it known that I was in Ludington. I didn't specify anything though where I was in the town. I did not specify the marina I was on, the boat I was on, so no one could really pinpoint my location except that I was in Ludington, which at the end of the day, it is not a giant town, but it is still a relatively large town with 4 different marinas in the town, which will come into play here in a second. I'm in Ludington. We went fishing that morning for a couple of hours, came back about noon, and we made plans to go back to the marina in the evening, hang out, do some grilling, and then go on an afternoon boat ride to go see a lighthouse. So we showed up and we were grilling out and cooking and eating for about an hour. And finally we were like, okay, it is time to go hop on the boat. Let's go check out the lighthouse at sunset and see what is going on. So we packed up all of our stuff and we started walking to the boat. There was about 6 of us that were leaving the picnic tables, walking around the corner and walking down the long dock that leads to the boat. So as we were walking towards the boat, I was the last one walking in our little group, and I heard someone yell my name. And so I turn around and there's a guy that's holding like a bunch of food boxes or something. And I look at him and I'm like, "Did you say my name?" And he said, "No." And I look over to my right and there's a man walking towards me and he said, "I said your name." I was like, "Oh, okay." I reach out, shake his hand. I'm like, "Hi, I'm Katherine. So nice to meet you," which I get recognized from time to time. So it doesn't really surprise me when someone says my name, walks up to me, and I'm always like, "Oh, hey, I assume you know me from the internet. So hi, I'm Katherine. So nice to meet you." And he asked me, he was like, "Did you just get back in from fishing?" And I was like, "Yeah, we went out fishing this morning. Like, we had some good times." And then he looked at me and he was like, "Who are you with?" And I look over to the boat because I can see everyone else who is now staring at me from the boat. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm here with my fiance, Cody. I'm here with my sponsors, Renegade Products, and a couple of other people, and we're about to go out on a boat ride." And I'm just not thinking anything of this conversation. I just thought it was someone who was coming to say hello. And then after that, I made some more small talk and I was like, "Oh, are you from around here? Do you live in Ludington?" And he said, "No, I am from Flint, Michigan," which was like 4 hours away. And I was like, 4 hours? Man, this person drove a long ways. And then he looks at me like just very questionable and he says, "Do you know who I am?" And I said, "No, I don't have any idea who you are." And he said, "Are you sure you don't know who I am?" And I said, "I have never spoken nor seen your face before." And he's like, "We've been talking on the internet." And at this point, my face must have gone white because I knew in that instance that this man had been getting scammed by someone stealing my identity. And literally, I probably turned white as a ghost. And the others that were standing on the boat watching me, they could tell instantly that something was wrong. I assume my demeanor, my face changed like that. The guy then proceeds to tell me that we have been talking on the internet for a while and he has sent me $15,000 to help fix my boat. And I was like very upset, very scared, because I have no recollection of this because there is someone that has been stealing my identity, apparently speaking to this man, and now he's in front of me. I have no idea how he found me. It really started to freak me out because I don't know if this man had intentions of hurting me. To this day, I still don't know how he found me. I don't know if he had been driving around to the different marinas because he knew that I was fishing and he just happened to stumble upon me when we were there about to go fishing. I don't know. But continuing on, he was like, "I've sent you $15,000 to fix your boat." And I said, "No, I've never spoken to you before." I then went on to say, I am very adamant on my social media talking about there are these scammer accounts out there that steal my identity and try to scam people out of money. And I make posts on a weekly basis on my accounts trying to inform people that these scams are going on. But he told me, he looked me in the eyes and he said, "I've seen those before. I've seen you post that, but I thought it was you." And I was just very apologetic because I don't know how else to feel because I don't know that any of this is going on. At that point, I was very taken aback by this information. My brain was going like 90 miles a minute. I didn't know how he found me. I wasn't sure if he was upset with me. I wasn't sure if he had intentions of finding me. And it very much had me on edge because I am always very, very concerned about my safety and I want to make sure that I am safe. So at that point, my sponsor, one of them, walked up because they could tell that something was wrong. And she was like, we need to take Katherine. We're going on a boat ride. And she very quickly whisked me away, and we went to walk to get on the boat. As soon as we walked away, I looked at her and I'm like, this man has been scammed by someone pretending to be me. He supposedly sent me $15,000, and it just really shook me up. So I told everyone on the boat just what happened, kind of like I just did to y'all. And we were like, okay, we're just gonna go. We're gonna go check out the lighthouse, and he's probably going to be gone by the time we get back, because we're gonna go look at this lighthouse, enjoy the sunset, see the ferry come in. And we were like, you know, kind of weird, but it's gonna be okay. Well, we were gone out boating for a little while, and then we get back and we can see him in his car at the end of the dock. And at this point, that made me very scared. So we get back from our boat ride, we realize he is at the end of the marina, and we couldn't go get in the car because basically how this was, so there's like a long street. The marina is here at the end of the street. There's like one block, and then on the next block was where we were staying. So we could pretty much see where we were staying from the marina. And we definitely don't want someone to know where we're sleeping at night for all of our safety. So we couldn't get in the car and just drive and have this person know where we're sleeping for our safety. So what happened was I was very nervous, very scared. They went and put me on someone's boat just to get me out of the way. I didn't want to be any part of this. I didn't want to be seen. And Cody and my sponsors came up with a game plan to figure out kind of what we should do in this situation. Ultimately, they went and spoke with this man, and they did ask him to leave. They said, like, I'm really sorry that this happened to you, which I am. I hate so much that this is something that I have to deal with. We were very sorry this happened to him, but we did ask if he could leave because I was nervous and not feeling the best about the situation. I was upset. And he also looked at Cody and he was like, you must be Cody, right? Because I assume once he found out that I was not talking to him, he was probably searching my name, found my Facebook profile where it says I'm engaged to Cody. From what they told me, he never became aggressive, but he said he wasn't doing anything wrong and he didn't need to move. At that point, they decided it was best to call the police because we wanted to get home, but we couldn't have this man see where we were going right up the street to sleep for the night. So they called the police, and of course, like, this marina is popping in the evening. Like, everyone from the town is hanging out on their boat. I mean, this is a very small town up in Michigan, lakeside town, so everyone knows everything. And then here comes this crazy girl who has the cops called. So the police pull up, and you can just see everyone like whispering. I could see all the people on the boats around me. They were like, why are the police here? And so once the police showed up, the guy drove off and went like a block down the street. But it was a block between us and our house. He eventually got out of his car. The police were watching. He went into a bar. And at that point, someone came and collected me from the boat, and they were like, get in the car. We're gonna have a police escort to the house. Someone's gonna stay back, make sure that this person can't see where you're staying, and we're just gonna keep an eye on you overnight. At the end of the day, the police were super awesome. They made sure that we got to our house safely. They stayed around, they hung around, made sure that no one was doing anything weird where we were staying. The next morning, we were also going fishing, and the policeman was waiting for us at the docks to make sure everything was okay, and we had no further incidents after that. But it did have me really shaken up because I can't do anything about this issue. I try my hardest, but at the end of the day, there's still some people who will fall prey to these scammers. I don't know how people are gonna react, especially when we're face to face, and if they've supposedly sent me $15,000. I just have to be very concerned for my safety and make sure nothing is going to happen to me. So all in all, that is my craziest interaction with someone that I have ever had. It was definitely a wake-up call for me that I am going to be a lot more protective about when I'm places and where I'm at. I will probably start doing stuff and waiting until I'm either home from a trip or away from that place to upload like an Instagram story or a video, just being more concerned with my safety, even more so than I already am. So that is the craziest story that I've had so far, and I hope it doesn't ever become any crazier than that. But at the end of the day, it's something that comes along with the territory of what I do, unfortunately. But yeah, that is my crazy Michigan story. So, this crazy girl comes into this little Ludington, Michigan town, calls the cops, and then the next day, us Texans went and won their little local fishing tournament. I was like, man, I came into town and these people are never gonna want me to come back. I get the police involved with me. I win their fishing tournament, and it was just a wild time. But I still had an awesome time on my trip, and it was a very interesting experience to say the least. So there you have it, guys, my first ever story time. It was a doozy. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this story time video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't done so. And I will see y'all again real soon with hopefully not another crazy story time video. Bye, guys. Mwah!